A microcommunity will open up to new residents experiencing homelessness in Denver. It's located along Santa Fe near I live.
Yeah, that's where 9 News reporter Courtney Yoon joins us live this morning. And Courtney, how many people will call this place home?
Yeah, good morning, Corey and Jordan. There's 60 units available in this microcommunity. Denver's mayor says in total 120 individuals will be able to live here, people who used to be living on city streets. Now, this microcommunity is located in the Overland Park neighborhood, and it's the first one to open so far this year. The site has everything from bathrooms to kitchens to trash services. During the week, the city says it will be talking with people living outdoors to offer them indoor accommodations. The city says it will also offer what it calls wraparound services and a pathway to permanent housing. That includes employment services and help for those struggling with mental health and addiction. This is all part of the mayor's House 1000 initiative, which is now in its second year. According to the city's website, 1,199 people are currently in a non-group shelter or permanent housing. Later on this morning, Denver Mayor Mike Johnston will be holding a press conference on this. We're hoping to get inside the microcommunity, take a look at what these units look like, and learn a little bit more about the services that they'll be offering. A second microcommunity on Alati near Civic Center Park is also expected to open sometime this month. Corey, Jordan.
Yeah, I pass this on my way into work all the time. I'm curious what it looks like on the inside. Courtney, thank you.
Right now, Denver is still seeing more and more migrants come into the city every day. We just checked the city's dashboard, and within the last 24 hours, 59 more people have arrived, and more than 1,500 people are in shelters across the city. Last week, the city started consolidating the shelters where these migrants have been staying. In total, Denver will be closing 4 hotels used as a shelter once each week, and the city will now be focusing on case management to get people housing as well as work.
This morning, prosecutors say more charges against a former Colorado funeral director are coming. Miles Harford is already charged with 4 counts for allegedly leaving a woman's body in a hearse for a year and a half and giving her family someone else's remains. Harford appeared for the first time in person in Denver court on Friday after he was arrested on a warrant last month. He's due back in court on March 26 for a formal arraignment. Denver police still have a hotline for anyone impacted by his former business, Apollo Funeral and Cremation Services. That number is at the bottom of your screen. It's 720-913-6610. Right now, police in England are dealing with a similar issue. They have uncovered more than 3 dozen bodies from a funeral home in London. 2 people have been arrested on fraud and the prevention of lawful burial.
This week, President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump could each clinch their party's nominations. It could happen for both of them after the Georgia primary tomorrow. Now, regardless of the numbers, Biden and Trump are pretty much guaranteed to get the nomination for president. Trump has no other Republican challengers after Nikki Haley dropped out after Super Tuesday last week, and Joe Biden is the only major candidate on the Democratic ballot.
Today is the first full day of Ramadan, the day the U.S. had hoped Israel and Hamas would agree on a ceasefire deal, but this morning that seems far away from happening. Right now, there is no date set for negotiators to begin talking again. Now, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he plans to move forward with an invasion of Rafah in South Gaza, right on the border with Egypt. President Joe Biden says he considers this a red line that Israel shouldn't cross.
He must pay more attention to the innocent lives being lost as a consequence of the actions taken. He's hurting, in my view, he's hurting Israel more than helping Israel.
The White House is now focusing on getting support into Gaza. President Biden says the U.S. military is going to work with other countries to build a temporary pier in Gaza to help get aid in.
Well, this conflict is grabbing attention all over the world. Yesterday, before the Oscars, hundreds of protesters marched through Hollywood chanting Free Palestine. They say their goal was to disrupt the Oscars. Police dispersed the area around 2:45.
It's 6:06 right now, and states across the Northeast are dealing with serious flooding after a big rainstorm. You can see roads damaged, choppy waves, streets and parking lots completely underwater. This stretches from Maine all the way down to South Carolina. That storm system is now on its way out.
This winter was the warmest on record for the U.S., according to NOAA. Records date back to the late 1800s. In fact, winter has become the fastest warming season for nearly 75% of the country. December was a full 7 degrees above average. And aside from a brutal cold spell in January, higher temperatures continued through the season. February finished as the 3rd warmest on record.
And the heat could be a big factor in this summer's Olympics. Paris has seen heat waves happen during the same weeks as the games are scheduled in the past. And athletes and researchers say it is possible that could happen again this year. Most summers, a lot of folks actually leave the city to get out of the heat. And this year, there will be tens of thousands more people than usual. The International Olympic Committee says they're taking steps now to mitigate the effects of the heat.
And one thing you want to know about the weather today is we're starting to see clouds build and drift across the Front Range, so we will see mostly cloudy skies today. But with those clouds from the northern Front Range all the way from Aurora to Greeley and Fort Collins, we'll see temperatures in the mid-60s with those mostly cloudy skies.
Ed, thank you. Right now, travel times are in good shape on I-70 for you between I-25 and 225. We are looking at an 8-minute commute both ways.
All right, Erica, thank you. Well, new this morning, a skier in New Hampshire has died after falling 600 feet. The U.S. Forest Service says that there were actually a lot of scary falls in New Hampshire over the weekend. At least 2 others were seriously hurt. The problem was the weather. The past week in New Hampshire had been warm and rainy, and the area lost more than a foot of snow from the snowpack. Then temperatures dropped. The remaining snow froze and got hard and icy. The Forest Service says that just made conditions too dangerous.
And a skier in Japan caught this fall on video. He uncovered a hidden waterfall and fell into a hot spring below. He says he wasn't hurt, just had trouble getting out of the spring, but he eventually made it to safety.